some people, computer game design sounds so complicated that they would give you nightmares. To other people like myself, enjoy learning how these games were created and challenge ourselves to learn more. Good evening. My name is Dustin Seiss, and I'm from Millington-Napoleon High School in Millington, Missouri. The challenge that I was given was to create an FBLA trivia game. It had to contain 25 questions and a minimum of 5 topics. It also had to contain 5 questions per topic. The intended audience is fellow FBLA members like myself, ages 14 through 18 years of age. The very beginning of any project creation is to determine what kind of game an average teenager would be interested in playing. There are high action games, there are quiz show games, and games that contain a lot of speed and motion. I decided, since this was a trivia game, that I would create a game just like the actual Jeopardy game on television with Pat St. Jack. I knew that this meant creating action buttons and arranging them strategy on pages and creating hyperlinks to other slides. To begin with, one must decide the flow chart of the game. Since this is a quiz bowl game, since this was a quiz show game, based on a series of topics with the right and wrong answers, my program would contain an if-then statement or search type procedures. If you will look at the flow chart and begin with me at start, as I moved on to the option and input phase, which is where the gamer would have the choice of picking a category and point value, and then it would go to the choice factor of it, where he has 4 questions to choose from. If the gamer selected the correct answer, it would move down to another input phase and take him to the correct slide answer. If he selected an incorrect, it would go to the incorrect process phase and then take him to the incorrect slide. From there, he has the choice of either stopping the game or continuing the game, which would start the process all over again. This design process, it was important today. This design process is important that today's teenagers like color and entertainment. Since this was an FBLA contest, I decided to go with backgrounds of blue and the gold font to represent the colors of FBLA. I chose a font that was very readable, and I imported Pac-Man sound effects from the internet, which happened to be very popular with average teenagers. Because teenagers also like moving objects with action, I also inserted flash wording that they answered the questions correctly and incorrectly. I did not want the gamer to have forever to choose an answer, so I also imported a free timer from the internet. As my game board, I used a lighter blue to give a contrast against the dark blue, so the numbers would stand out. The designer needs to have a good understanding of how the program will run. You also need to have a good understanding of how you want the game to actually function when you play it. Most importantly, you want the game to be creative and fun for teenagers, because today's teenagers like to be entertained. The tools I used were Microsoft 10, the internet, and information I obtained from the National FBLA website. Any game designer would be lying to you if they had no problems creating a game. I actually had 3 overall problems. The first was working with the flash options. I was having troubles importing the flash option onto the PowerPoint. The second was creating questions that I wanted to move from easy to difficult as the point values increased. The third problem was the functionality of the timer. I could not get the timer to go to the incorrect slide when the timer ran out of time. And there you have a finished project that I'm very proud to say that I created, FBLA Knowledge Challenge. And I'll show you my game. Right here, as you can see, is the title page, the rules of the game. And here's the actual game board. As you can see up here at the top are the categories and the point values that increase as they go down. And here's one of the questions, and here's the timer. As you can see, as if you watch real closely, you can see the top is descending as an hourglass figure, and the bottom is rising. If I was to select a question or an answer, as you can hear, sorry I don't have my sound turned up, but I have incorrect sounds, and on this blank screen right here is supposed to be the word incorrect flashing in colors. And that is it. Are there any questions?
Are the questions for higher point values any more difficult than the ones for lower point values?
Yes. As the point values increase, the questions get more difficult.
Does the computer keep track of the score for you, or do you manually do that?
A player from each team would manually have to do that.
When you say teams, is this something that you would play like in a meeting, or is there a way to play this on the internet by a person's own?
You can probably do it by internet, but you can also have meetings for like fun activity for the children, for the teenagers to play while having a conduct meeting, to spare time from the actual meeting and enjoy something fun.
What benefits or usefulness can you see out of doing either way, at the meeting or on the internet?
At the meeting, it'll give the teenagers more understanding about the history and everything about FBLA, and it would be basically the same way on the internet.